I'm going to talk to you about 5 gut health habits that are going to help improve your digestion, support your gut microbes, lower gut inflammation, and potentially even strengthen your gut barrier. Now, tip number 1 is having an early dinner. Why? Well, when you eat dinner, you're producing a lot of gastric acid. We tend to have a lot more protein towards the latter part of our day. And that gastric acid can reflux into the upper part of your digestive tract, which can lead to gastritis and symptoms of heartburn. So you want to leave at least 3 to 4 hours before sleeping in the evening time. So an early dinner is something that I would 100% advise. Also, don't forget, your gut cells, like all the cells in your body, operate on what's called the circadian rhythm, which is the rough 24-hour cycle by which all your cells operate on. So you want to make sure that you're having early dinners, but also regular dinners as well. So in practice, the things that I always suggest is creating a routine of when you actually have your dinners. Start cooking early if you can. Easy, quick, one-pot meals. We have plenty of those in the Doctor's Kitchen cookbooks, on our website, and certainly on our app as well. We've got 700, 800 recipes now on the app. There's loads of opportunity for you to choose one-pot meals. Try and have a lighter lunch and no heavy afternoon snacks. Even evening herbal teas to help close your eating window could also soothe that gastric acid that you produce naturally as well. So those are some of the tips that I would suggest when it comes to eating early. Number 2, don't eat on the go. There was a study that compared faster eaters to slower eaters. So faster eating speed, that is defined as less than 5 minutes per meal, which is probably something that I used to do, versus over 15 minutes per meal, is tied to more symptoms like belching, hiccuping, and a high risk of gastritis. If you eat slower, it lowers your stress and it increases the parasympathetic activity, which is rest and digest as well, which will strengthen your gut system and will lead to less of those symptoms of gastritis and excess acid. It also means that you chew more. So when you slow down your eating speed, you chew better and your stomach is less exposed to the excess acid otherwise needed to break down food. And you also have better satiety as well. You're less likely to overeat. So if you spend longer on the plate of food that you have in front of you, the satiety signals that are a result of gustatory, so the taste, and olfactory, the smell, and the visual system as well, is all signaling to your brain you are satiated, you've eaten enough. If you slow that down, you've got better satiety, you're less likely to overeat, and you'll probably lose weight naturally as well. In practice, make time for your meals, making sure that you're in quiet spots, you don't have any distractions. A lot of people eat al desco, i.e. on their desks, but also in front of your iPhone or your iPad or in front of the TV as well. It means that you won't enjoy the flavors. You're disrupting those normal signals that your brain is being fed by your gut system. So making sure that you're not distracted, you're actually taking a bit more effort to look at the complexity of your food and enjoy the textures and flavors. That's something that I would highly recommend. And a tip that I always do now is taking 3 deep breaths before eating. It allows you to slow down the eating process and prep for digestion as well. Smaller bites, chewing well, these are all things that you should be doing to keep the sort of the digestive system in the right sort of frame for digestion. Smaller bites, chewing well, these all reduce the burden on your stomach and increases the speed at which you can empty your gastric symptoms so you're less exposed to stomach acid. Number 3, you want to reduce irritants to your gut system. And the number one thing that I think most people don't realize is actually damaging to your gut is alcohol. Now, I know the limits of alcohol that are recommended in the UK are 14 units for women and 21 units for men. That is really high. When you look at the amount of alcohol that we consume across the week, if you were to consume that over 3 or 4 days, you're still consuming an actual irritant to your gut lining. There is nothing about alcohol that is good for your gut. So if you are suffering with gastritis or digestive discomfort, or you want to rebuild up your micropopulation, perhaps removing alcohol completely could be a good strategy to boost up that population. The other things that are irritant to your gut include highly spiced foods, but also fried, greasy, fatty foods. So if you think about a typical curry house Indian, highly spiced, highly processed, lots of grease and fats, saturated fats, butter. This is really hard for your digestive system to break that down. And that can lead to symptoms of digestive discomfort. It's not great for your gut microbes. It's definitely not good for the intestinal barrier, which is the process of how you actually absorb nutrients through your gut lining into your bloodstream. Ultra-processed foods kind of goes without saying these days, and non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, as well as many other medications as well. So trying to reduce the amount of drugs that we consume every single day. These all lead to increased stomach acid, reduce the mucus layer in your gut, upper part of your gut, as well as the lower part of the gut. It can reduce the gut microbe population, increase inflammation, and damage the stomach lining as well. So reduce those irritants. I'm not saying that you can never, ever have alcohol again. You can never go for a takeaway ever again, but you want to build a resilient gut. So you want to make sure that you're having these in small amounts. This is something that you do once or twice a month at max, not the sort of weekly norm that we currently have. The other things that I would suggest are cool swaps, are things like alcohol-free drinks. There are plenty of non-alcoholic drinks that are low sugar and they don't have any added sweeteners and other processed ingredients that are detrimental to your gut. So really, really big movement in low and no alcohol options, which I think is fantastic as well. And also keeping track of how you feel and focusing on what you add to your meals as well. Just a quick one. If you're enjoying this content, you will love my mini series on inflammation. I go through the different types of foods that you should be having, what inflammation actually is, plus lifestyle practices to reduce inflammation. You can get it for free right now in the link in the caption below. Back to the podcast. Number 4, on the subject of adding more to your meals, you want to add more fiber. So the current guidance is for 30 grams per day. I think, honestly, that is the bare minimum and that we should be going upwards of 30 grams per day. There are really easy ways in which you can achieve this as well. Increasing the amount of beans and legumes that you have every single day, increasing supplements like whole food supplements, shelled hemp seeds, psyllium husk, even inulin, and other prebiotic-rich ingredients. Asparagus when it's in season, chicory, artichokes. These are all wonderful ingredients to get into your diet every single day. And also adding flavonoids to your diet. So flavonoids are richly colored ingredients. They increase the protective action of your intestinal barrier by increasing gastric mucus and reducing gut inflammation as well. I have a bit of a saying every single day. It's get your daily BBGs. Your daily beans, berries, greens, and seeds or nuts. These are different types of berries like black currants, blackberries, raspberries, even things like cranberries. Get them into your diet every single day. They're rich in anthocyanins and flavonoids. They are rich in diverse fibers. And if you're getting beans and chickpeas, legumes, lentils, all these different foods, you're getting so much more fiber. That's going to increase the intestinal mucus production. That's going to improve your intestinal barrier. So these are all things that you want to encourage, and you can do that with daily BBGs. So beans, berries, greens. So greens like brassica vegetables that are high in sulforaphane, which is a unique ingredient that is found in lots of different types of brassica vegetables, cauliflower, cabbages, broccoli. Broccoli sprouts is particularly high in sulforaphane. These are anti-inflammatory and they are wonderful ingredients for your gut. And then seeds and nuts, again, full of dietary fibers, but they also have these fatty acids that are anti-inflammatory too. So try and get your daily BBGs in. This is going to help you eat more fiber and more flavonoids every single day. Generally, an anti-inflammatory dietary pattern is something that is associated with better gut health And daily BBGs will push out any of these sort of processed ingredients that you might find in your diet day to day, whether it's crisps or pastries or processed drinks. Get more daily BBGs in. You'll find yourself eating less processed food without even trying. And the fifth thing that I suggest getting into your daily diet are probiotic-rich foods. Things like sauerkraut, miso, tempeh, yogurts, kimchi. These are probiotic-rich ingredients, so they have live microbes in them, and you want to be looking for specific types of probiotic-rich foods. So not ones with vinegar, but ones with live cultures in. And it should say really clearly on the back of yogurt packets or the back of vegan cultures or even sauerkrauts and kimchis, live cultures, the ingredients, bit of salt, that's it. If it has a vinegar in, that's something that might destabilize and denature some of those live ingredients. That means that they're not as active and they're not actually truly probiotic. So try and get live probiotics into your diet every single day. Again, reduces inflammation, can reduce the incidence of ulcers and abdominal pain, improves your intestinal barrier, and improves the diversity of your gut microbiota too. I have some bonus habits. So those are the 5 things that I think you should be getting into your diet every single day. But a massage of your stomach. What this does, a massage of your stomach, I'll pull this up on screen now actually. This is just one abdominal massage that you can do, sort of like a horseshoe, which goes from the bottom of your abdomen on the right-hand side all the way up to the top where your liver is, across and then down. This action is something that can improve things like constipation, but it also signals to your gut that everything's fine. You're giving yourself a sort of like general relaxation of your organs inside. That signals to your brain that everything's fine. It reduces stress and increases that parasympathetic activity. Another thing that essentially gives your internal organs a massage is deep diaphragmatic breathing. So that's where you breathe in through your nose into the lungs. You feel the base of your lungs and you push down the diaphragm. The way you do that is by breathing into your belly. So when you breathe into your belly, you're expanding the air of the lower part of your abdomen, and then you're pulling the diaphragm down. The diaphragm can move down on itself as well, but you're adding ease to the diaphragm's ability to pull down just by simple physics. And that way, again, you're massaging your organs inside and you're signaling to your gut via the gut-brain axis that everything's nice and normal, everything's nice and calm, and that can increase parasympathetic activity, which improves your gut motility and can even increase feelings of calm. A light walk or movement after eating has also been shown to improve gastric emptying as well. And I just want to hasten the word light. It's a light walk after eating. And also wearing tight clothes. I'm actually wearing quite loose-fitting clothes today, so this is actually a good demonstration. But tight clothing, for the same reasons as diaphragmatic breathing and giving space into that area of your abdomen, is the opposite. So tight clothing can actually put undue pressure onto your internal organs, and that can actually exacerbate symptoms of abdominal discomfort, burping, gastritis, acid in your stomach. So loose clothing is something that you want to try and get into as much as possible. I get it. Sometimes at work, you can't just wear baggy pants all the time. I get that. But wherever you can, as soon as you get home, for example, on your days off, try and wear loose-fitting clothing. It puts less undue pressure on your internal organs, on your abdomen, and that can improve symptoms of gastritis and abdominal discomfort too. There are a number of different herbs that have some but limited evidence on their benefits to gut health as well. We talked about healing herbs in previous episodes, but ginger, licorice, peppermint and caraway oils, and fennel. These are 4 bonus herbs that I think are useful when it comes to improving feelings of abdominal discomfort and improving the resilience of your gut and improving your gut microbes as well. So these things that you want to try and get into your diet, either in a supplemental form or in a way that you can incorporate into your recipes and your meals by adding a bit of ginger, adding a bit of fennel seed, adding a bit of actual fennel bulb, and peppermint and caraway oils. These are things that could be beneficial for your gut too. So those are my gut health habits. I hope that's useful for you. I hope it's been educational. If you think I've missed out anything that could potentially help support digestion, support your gut microbes, strengthen your gut barrier, let me know in the comments. I'd love to see them, and I'll catch you here next time. If you loved that episode, you'll love this episode where I teach you about how to choose the best type of yoga every day and the health benefits that can help your well-being. You can check it out right here.